Hello everyone, we've just had a fantastic presentation from Jon Revell, ex-Exova, on the new BRC standard, its implications for industry and some of the issues there are around training new auditors. Jon, that was a fabulous presentation. Just when I thought I knew about BRC and the new version 7, you come up with a whole new shaft of information. One of the things I think most people are still questioning is, what do you think the new challenges are in the new version?
Well, Stuart, thank you very much for the comments. I think certainly the new sections, we've got two new fundamental clauses in particular in the BRC standard. One of those is really on supplier control.
Right.
It's a new fundamental requirement there. Vulnerability, the whole idea of HACCP and VASP are all starting to come into everyone's terminology. We're all familiar with HACCP. HACCP and VASP, I think, is going to be one of the new areas. And also from the side of labelling, we have so many product recalls and withdrawals that are linked to product labelling, and I think those are probably one of the two biggest challenges I think that manufacturers are going to have, and certainly very important.
So a lot of people have heard of HACCP, more people have heard of TASAP, but VASP is still a new type of terminology. So what's the difference between TASAP and VASP?
Well, I think a lot of people actually bring the two together, to be fair, and I think TASAP and VASP have a lot of similarities in there. Threat assessment is about ideological things that people want to actually bring to the forefront of people's attention. So ideological type of things. Then we have the VASP idea, which is about vulnerability, where people really want to keep these things quiet, where they don't particularly want people to hear about it. So really the food fraud ideas. Food defence is TASAP, and food fraud is very much on the VASP side of things, but they are very similar in the approach to there.
And can you remind us when BRC version 7 actually comes live?
It goes live, if you like, on the 1st of July. 1st of July this year, but there will be some companies that don't go through into the issue 7 audits until June 2015. 2016.
And a lot of organisations now go for the unannounced audit. So if you have an unannounced audit in the next couple of weeks, then you might get a version 6 or you might get a version 7.
We won't be able to do any version 7s until at least July 2015. Right. After the 1st of July, it will be after the 1st of July, it will be issue 7. If it happens before the 1st of July, it will be issue 6. We're not allowed to do issue 7 audits before the 1st of July. But for an unannounced company, potentially, if it happens before July the 1st, it will be issue 6, and after it will be issue 7. Unfortunately, the companies won't know. A lot of people have asked us.
What I thought was fascinating is your view on the future, but also your view on the past as well. And you were going through some of the issues that have come out on BRC version 6 that have recently been published. So were you surprised to find what was top 10?
I was actually. Some of the top 2 non-conformities are hygiene of housekeeping and doors, as an example. And doors, how many doors are there in a factory to actually keep control of? And that was quite a surprise to see that one as high in the top 10 list. But certainly a lot of people, we've been running training courses now since the end of January, and a lot of people are very surprised at what those top 10 items actually are. Because
I was surprised that I would have thought maybe HACCP, findings in HACCP, or allergen control, which is such an important area, would be in that top 10, but they're absent.
That's right. I think that's quite a good accolade, I think, to the food industry, and where we have actually done so much work as a food industry on HACCP, and pest control also isn't in the top 10. Those areas, brilliant that they're not actually in the top 10, and I'm really pleased as an auditor and a food industry professional to see those which we should be good at not being in the top 10. But there are some areas, traceability is in the top 10, do need to do some work with that to probably improve those aspects.
Hey, Jon, you've been in the industry as an auditor for 20 years
20
now.
years
30 years in manufacturing, 20 years as in auditing. What's the kind of, now you're coming towards the kind of highlight of your career, I like to think. What do you think some of the challenges have been in your career in auditing?
Challenges. I think maintaining constant new side of the industry, new challenges, the new standards, new demands from retailers. Obviously, has been challenges. Not been so many new technologies coming on over the years, but there are some new technologies, new processing technologies, which are quite a challenge when you're an auditor. But certainly the worldwide nature of auditing is quite a challenge in itself. Visiting all these countries around the world and seeing how different companies make it around the world. And I've had 20 years in auditing, and it's a great experience, I think.
So there's a lot of young people think about going into auditing as a career. There are a lot of old people, like myself, who might be coming towards the end of their career and thinking of perhaps doing something else. Do you think for older people auditing is a easier option? Or for younger people, do you think there's a real career in it?
I think as a professional, it's a very challenging career, and certainly we'd like to encourage more younger people into the industry. A lot of us auditors are actually getting older as we speak. It is quite a challenge getting young people into the industry, both qualified food technologists and people with the right experience. We look for people that have very varied experience. The challenges of the certification bodies to make sure that we have the right qualifications, the right experience in our audit team, varied experience is a real challenge to us. We have a lot of people who love working in a particular industry, but it limits the scopes that we can use for auditing. So we like to have people that have worked in various different food industries and have the right industrial backgrounds, the right qualification backgrounds. It's very key to what we do in the industry.
Do you think that's fantastic as it looks at creating better professionals and people who become better auditors? And as someone that gets audits, it's great to have somebody with that experience. But do you think it's like a barrier to entry that might be a bit too high? Because the qualifications you need, the training that you need, is so much more than it was 10 years ago. And is there a pool of talent out there that can meet that standard, do you think?
I think so. I think it is this challenge of getting people out of industry to join the certification bodies and do this. And I think it will be one of the big challenges that we're going to face over the next 2 or 3 years to get those people that we really need into the auditing area. Through the Elliott review, it highlighted the importance of audits and having the right calibre of audits and the right people doing the audits and covering the right ground. And that is probably one of the big challenges, and how we actually maintain the education of those people to meet those challenges. And it is an ongoing challenge really with any audits to bring them up to date and maintain the competence, the knowledge of the auditors. It is a big challenge to us and other certification bodies to do that.
John, once again, thank you for a fabulous presentation. The feedback from the people who attended has been great, very informative, and all the best for your new venture, and hopefully we'll see you here again. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay.